Hello and welcome to the episode of Trash Talk Podcast. And with me today I have Sergej. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine.
You know, there's no forcing me to use this first take. It's just funnier that way. And our topic today is tech we should invent.
Yeah.
I guess we as in the two of us?
Should we invent? Probably. I mean, it's like, we should probably invent it if we had the skills for it. Or more like, why doesn't this tech exist yet? What's up?
That's a good question. Examples.
I don't know, like, one that, like, instantly came to mind was, like, this, like, period of time when, like, Google Glasses and, like, similar AR glasses, like, were talked about everywhere, but like they just suddenly disappeared.
I know, right? It seems...
What happened? Why?
It seems like a cool
sounds
technology.
Like such a cool thing, right?
But then again, I've never tried using it. Which is probably... Like, if we'd tried it, we probably would have realized why people aren't using it anymore. Like, there's probably...
Could be.
Like, a practical reason. Also, I guess there's always a question of, like, how useful is this actually?
Yeah. I guess.
Because, like, there's new attempts at different kinds of wearable tech. There's, like, these pins that, like, different companies are trying to make now. Like, AI-powered pins. It has a camera. You put it, like, in your pocket or whatever. And it's like, I don't get it.
See, I have not heard of this.
There's, like a couple of those but, like...
The closest thing I heard was, like, I think a couple of years ago now. A rabbit something AI or whatever.
Yeah. I think that, that kind of thing.
Released this like small gadget thing.
Yeah, you pin it to your shirt.
I don't know about pinning it. Like it's like a handheld thing as well. Like,
and I think it was supposed to project onto your hand. I think, like.
Okay,
kind of
we're talking about something very, very different things then.
It might have been something else. But yeah, no, it's like, okay, that's not gonna happen, but sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. On a completely different note, and I think this does technically exist, but I guess never just been practical enough. But sometimes I do wish I had windshield wipers on my glasses. I'm pretty sure people have built those before. I just think... I don't think there's a version that's, like, small enough that it would actually be plausible.
I mean, how about just, like, having glasses that don't get dirty in the first place?
I mean, yeah, you just need to coat it in something that's repellent. I mean, which it, to some degree, already is, I think. It's just not very good at it. I mean, the problem is you need...
not just do it, like,
you need a coating that both repels liquids, at the very least, and probably also grease, because, like, let's face it, that is the biggest problem. You know, your eyebrows kind of go behind your glasses, and so, like, these corners always get greasy. Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, some people wear their glasses like this, and then maybe it's less of a problem, but it's very uncomfortable, I find. So, yeah, I wear my glasses pretty close to my face.
It looks like 100 times more classy, though. Gotta say. Yes.
Yeah, but it also doesn't... It can't interact with light, right? So I think that's the tricky part, because even if it is, like, more or less transparent, if it, like, refracts light weirdly, it could still be bad in some cases. So...
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It can't have any visual effects, so I can see why that might not be as straightforward. Okay, I have a completely unrelated thing that I thought of, like, a while back, that I think we should genuinely, maybe potentially work on, but it's kind of crazy. You know how people try to make, like, infinite energy, like, machines, right? Like you have, like, a perpetual motion machine, and then you take energy out of it, and then... Okay, so, I think I have one that could work. I know what you're saying, right? It's impossible, and laws of physics don't allow for that. Here's the thing. What if we sidestep the laws of physics by just being very clever? Like, they say we have a technology that can produce heat at 450% efficiency. And then we have a technology that converts heat into energy. You see where I'm going with this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so heat pumps
keep going.
Heat pumps are a real technology that exists. They produce up to 4.5 watts of heat per 1 watt of energy, as in electricity that you put in there. Because they don't actually produce energy, they technically take it from elsewhere, just like the environment.
Yeah.
Okay, so the peak efficiency is technically 4.5. The peak efficiency of steam turbines is somewhere in the low 40s percentages.
Percent, you mean? Yeah.
So technically, if you multiply those numbers together, you get like 1.7 or something like that. Probably actually 1.8. And so
Could be.
So that's just free energy, right? So the problem with that is that heat pumps also only have the peak efficiency at like very specific temperature ranges and very small differentials between ambient and the thing we're trying to do. But like, if we could make heat pumps and or steam turbines more efficient, you could see how theoretically there could be a point where you could just combine those two technologies to just make free electricity.
I mean, if I understand the technology correctly, you would be cooling down the environment drastically. Yes.
I mean, but heat pumps already work that way, right? Like, minus the energy production, but like, they already take, like, heat from outside, and because outside is so big, it's essentially an infinite source of heat.
Yeah, but like, if you run it long enough, you're just gonna, like, I don't know, I mean, probably a good thing.
Okay, so what you're saying is, not only am I creating free energy, I'm also solving global warming? Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly that, yeah. Hell yeah, let's do this.
No, I think this is a little crazy, obviously, because if it wasn't, someone much more serious than me would have suggested it. But at the same time, you do have to look at the numbers and see, like, okay, heat pumps have more than 100% efficiency, which is, like, a true thing. And so, you're like, okay, we're basically already breaking laws of physics. I know we not technically are, but if you don't know how heat pumps work, they might as well be magic. Which I guess is Arthur C. Clarke's third law. Any sufficiently advanced heat pump is tantamount to magic. And so...
Direct quote.
I am just thinking, right, if we can make them even better somehow, which, I don't know, like, are we optimizing them 100%? And if we can make steam turbines more efficient, which, like, maybe we can, or maybe there's another way to turn heat into electricity, it genuinely seems like it could theoretically be possible. I guess it is just another way of doing renewable energy, right? Because, like, we already do wind, we already do, like, light, so why not do heat, essentially? I mean, it's essentially just saying, like...
Yeah, it's basically taking heat from the environment and converting that to energy.
Which, I would argue, unless you're doing it on, like, really huge scales, it's not going to have an impact on environmental temperatures. And if you do it on a large enough scale, just do it places where it's already too hot anyways, right? Like set these up in the Sahara, right? Like, who cares? Like, it's already too hot there. I mean, it also... Wait, the cold end of a heat pump also has condensation, so that might also be helpful, maybe? Actually, no, I think there would be less condensation because there have to be water in the air to begin with.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is...
Yeah, why don't we just, like, put heat sinks on the Sahara Desert? Is basically what you're saying, right?
I mean, I think we could technically, I mean, if we used, lenses to focus it, we could probably just, like, actually operate a steam turbine with sunlight. It might be less efficient than solar, and certainly it would be more complex to set up than solar. But, like, theoretically, we could already do that, although that one, again, is more using the sunlight than... Also... the steam turbine, for any of this to work, would have to probably be closed loop. Because you need to, like, the water would need to condense again and run down. Because otherwise, you need to pump water into it as well, which is not going to be optimal.
Difficult.
You can't just use seawater, because then it'll just be, like, all full of salt right away. Because the water condenses, the salt doesn't. And so, if you want to use clean water to do it, then that's a whole other thing.
Wasn't there, like, didn't we have recently, like, a fact where a really whole new way to desalinate water was invented?
Yes, you had that. I think it was basically also using solar energy to desalinate water.
Yeah. So what if we combine those two?
Yeah, but I think at that point you might as well just use the solar energy to power your things rather than using it to desalinate water to run steam turbines that then also use solar to turn that into energy. I think at that point you're just making it too complicated.
All right, but like before that, it wasn't too complicated, right?
Well, I mean, I think you can probably make a closed loop steam turbine. Like if you wanted to use heat into. I mean, I assume that would be possible. I mean, I guess there's the question, right? If it is possible, then why aren't they doing it? Because famously, nuclear power plants have like these huge smokestacks. It's not smoke. It's water
Vapor.
Because you have to consider that nuclear power are just big steam turbines powered by uranium.
Exactly.
Which is just funny that we invent ever more advanced ways of generating heat to power our steam turbines. I think solar power is basically the only point of energy that we're using that doesn't rely on turning a wheel. Because steam turbines are essentially also just like turning a wheel using steam. And then we burn things to heat it up, or we use nuclear to heat it up. And then wind turbines are just a thing spinning, water turbines are a thing spinning.
Actually, wait, no. Aren't there these little pads that like heat up on one side and cool down on the other side? Those don't turn anything.
Peltier?
You can use them in reverse to generate power by like supplying two sides, like they're one cold, one hot.
Yeah. Wait. So what you're saying is we didn't need to do the whole steam turbine and heat pump thing.
Not.
We could have just.
But the thing is that they're like extremely inefficient.
Yeah. I mean, again, my idea right now isn't exactly efficient either, because the problem is if you want to use a heat pump to make something like to make water boil, it becomes terribly inefficient. Like the 4.5 times efficiency is only if the differential between the warm side and the cold side is very minimal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at that point, like I don't think it really matters. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Do you have anything more to say about this?
About the one I just suggested? No, I think it's a crazy idea, but it's just crazy enough that it just might work. Because with a lot of our technologies, we have these like incremental efficiency gains, and so all I have to know is how efficient is a heat pump right now at boiling water, and how efficient is a steam turbine, and then we just need to track the charts until they cross, and it becomes positive.
Oh, yes.
Again, maybe that never happens. It probably never happens because it seems almost too easy.
I mean, theoretically, it sort of makes sense.
Yeah, right? Because
we'll have to see about the practice.
Because it doesn't...
like, the building costs actually justify building it.
Yeah. No, but I mean, heat pumps are fairly compact, right? And steam turbines... I mean, I don't know, like, the very efficient ones are probably fairly big, but, like, at the same time... I mean, you could just use old nuclear reactors, right? You already have the steam turbines built in. You just need to do the...
Bro.
It's all heat pumps and old power plants. So yeah, I'm sure that'll work. Also, by that logic, it would have to be specifically heat pumps that get more efficient, because the steam turbines, if they already exist, we can't make them more efficient, probably.
Yeah.
No, it's something that I like randomly thought about like a couple of weeks back. Was like, wait, heat pumps are more than 100% energy efficient at making heat. So all we need is something to make heat efficiently into electricity, and we have free electricity, right? But steam turbine was the best I could come up with, and those are, again, less than 50% efficient, and using a heat pump to actually boil water is probably like a little too extreme.
Might be, yeah. Just might be. But yeah, I have like one more, much less crazy, hopefully, I think. It's... Can we please invent like a nice way to type on the go? or to like compose messages. Because like smartphones, yes, great thing, right? You
Eh,
can use them for a lot of things. But typing on them, it kind of sucks. That's my least favorite part of using one. Isn't can't there be like some way?
I mean, holographic keyboard, but those are also I don't think they're very fun because they don't have any tactile feedback.
Yes, and like you just move your hands slightly to the side without noticing because like you're on the go, you're walking, you're maybe even you aren't walking, you're just standing there, but like with your hands like this. That man, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm just saying that technology exists. Um, a keyboard. Have you seen the video about when someone built like the cleanest setup, and I think it was like the screen and the keyboard were like all holographic and everything, and it basically like is just a desk, and it's just a fully functional
Uh,
computer like hidden in there.
I I'm I think I know which video you're talking about, but I'm not sure because I haven't seen it.
Okay,
If it is, it's probably from DIY Perks.
it might have been. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, they actually use like the holographic keyboards and everything because
Okay.
I think it was in response to like an LTT video where they were like, "Oh yeah, the cleanest setup," and it was basically like just like a screen, a mouse, and a keyboard, and everything else was hidden. And he
Yeah.
was like, "I can do better than that."
Yeah, that could be DIY Perk.
And then like a
But
projector and
I've seen like
holographic keyboard or something.
some guy that like also on YouTube that has like also actually one of those Google Glass thingies, but like not actually Google Glass. He like DIY'd one for like one eye thing.
Okay.
And then he tried DIYing all kinds of different solutions to typing on the go. And some of them sucked slightly less than others. But yeah, like there's gotta be some solution to this.
I have a solution. You're just not gonna like it.
Okay.
You know how in fiction characters oftentimes wear their swords on their back in a sheath? Just do that for like a regular keyboard. Like you have a keyboard, you just pull it out. I mean, I guess you could also do it like most wheels or wheels and have it sheathed to your legs, but that's probably less practical. You might actually want it on your back in this case because it's very broad.
Yeah.
You just pull out a keyboard and you have a keyboard. And
Do you also have it attached to like some arm that like actually fixes it in place?
Okay, so I was just gonna ask, what do you mean by on the go? Because like, if there's a table or any surface, you could just place it down there. Otherwise, yes, you're gonna have to need a thing where you can like have some arms you can like fold down and then just have it locked in there and have it just at a comfortable distance, and then you could like take off the keyboard, put it back, and then just fold up the arms again. And there's like straps, so like they're essentially just like metal straps, something that like go down. They wouldn't really be in the way. Like I think you could make that. I think you could make that work. You would just look very silly. But like I think practically that could work. And carrying a keyboard on your back is like
wait.
not that uncomfortable probably.
I just remembered reading a fact somewhere. It's not my fact of the week, but just like I don't remember why I haven't picked it, or if I did, I don't remember having it picked. I read about technology just like direct brain to text.
I mean that will solve it too.
Yeah, and like it was like the first one that was actually sort of usable. It was like decently fast as well. Dude, that would solve it. I completely forgot about this.
Yeah, I mean brain tech interfaces, right? The main thing there is just a lot of those technologies that are like actually like workable. First of all, it takes a while to configure to like actually like get them calibrated to your brainwaves, and then a lot of them are like implants, which most people are not going to get. Now, some people have suggested like, oh yeah, like why don't we use basically like an EKG machine or something like have just like some electrodes that are just like in a hood or something. You just put it on, and then you can interface with tech that way, and that might be more realistic. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the other one, the way you could do that is just speech to text, right? AI is getting a lot better at recognizing what you're saying, so it should actually not be that bad these days. Although every time I've used it, it is still not that good. But speech to text, I think, would be the easiest way to do that. It's just also going to be a little bit annoying if you're just like talking to yourself in public or whatever. But that would probably be the most practical IRL because most phones already have that built in anyways. Are you still looking for your like brain interface thing?
Yes. It's actually pretty recent. Apparently from Meta.
Is it Facebook?
As on Facebook, yeah. It's if it's the same thing that I read about, it's Brain to QWERTY. It's actually non-invasive.
Okay, cool. I mean, wouldn't work for me because I use QWERTs, but sure.
Maybe with a bit of readjusting, right? Yeah, I cannot find like some in-depth stuff right now, but like that would be super cool. Is this the same thing? No, this is not the same thing. Yeah, no, I don't think it was Meta. I think it was something else.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess there's a lot of technologies that we could like ask why doesn't this exist yet, and I think a big problem is that it's always hard to come up with these things on the spot because the whole point is that a lot of technology does exist. And sometimes people are like, oh, why doesn't this exist yet? And someone else like, here's a link, it exists. Because a lot of tech also does exist, you just don't know about it.
Yeah. But then again, like, if you talk about this, and like you really wish for some tech to exist, and someone points you to it, and that's amazing, right? You'd want yes, that. You'd want to know about it.
You know, I mean, it's still useful because if you have a genuine use for it, yeah.
Gosh, if it doesn't exist, then like someone can go ahead and like maybe invest into that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking like, oh, why doesn't this exist? And I've already forgot what it was. Which is great. So yeah, it clearly was
amazing.
I guess the other thing is just like, why are, I mean, we've talked about this before. Like, why are we so bad at choosing what we apply AI to?
Yeah.
I mean, they are already applying it to some things like protein folding, which is like the real use cases, right? Where like a human could do this, but it would just take forever.
And protein folding was actually one of the OG areas.
Yeah, and that I was saying like that is one of those examples where they are using it right. But like there's a lot of applications like that I feel like we aren't really using it. There was some doctor who was like, oh yeah, he used AI to cross-reference licensed medicine, like already like approved medicines for different use cases. So there's a lot of medicines that would have multiple uses. I mean, famously, Viagra was invented for heart disease. And then they realized that a side effect of it was getting an erection, and they were like, hey, wait, we can sell that.
Yeah.
And so it's primarily used for erections nowadays. But so he has this AI model that he uses to try to determine what parts of the anatomy basically does this interact with, and what diseases could be solved by interacting with that. That's sort of an idea, I guess. And then just like checking what the AI thinks it could be used for. And then obviously like manually confirming it. But that idea, so for like off-label uses for medications, like those sort of ideas, I want more of that and less of just like people using it to like write books or whatever. I mean, if you like, I don't want to read your AI book, or like, oh, the California bar writing some of their questions with AI. Well, technically they contracted some company to write the questions for them, and that company then used AI to write some of the questions. It's like, why? Right? Like, just let people write those, especially bar exam questions, because those are like not meant to be like easy and systematic, right? This is not a good use case for AI because the false answers also have to sound plausible, right?
Yeah.
But they have to also be false, right? So I don't think that's a good use case for AI. But like again, like all the creative stuff, like I guess that some of it is genuinely interesting, and it allows people that don't have artistic talent to still make art, to a degree, which I don't think is good. But I think there are a lot of use cases, like again, both of the medical ones that I mentioned, and there's got to be more use cases like that where it would actually be quite useful to have an AI to do this, and a human can't feasibly do that. Like, we could manually cross-reference things, but it would take a while, and it would probably have just as high of an error rate. And AI can just do it fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe I'm just not aware enough of other use cases. I mean, I know that Galaxy was also using a training AI to recognize galaxy shapes and stuff like that. So there is more, like, there are already use cases where they're training AI for a lot of these kinds of tasks, and there's probably other cases I just haven't heard of. And in cases where they aren't using it, they probably are already working on models. I might just be too pessimistic about this, but I feel like all of the applications you hear about are just like, hey, let's get jobs away from creative people. And it's like, okay, that sucks. Or, like, people just play around with it, which, like, that's fine. But, like, again, was like, oh, we don't need illustrators anymore. We don't need audiobook readers anymore. Like, we can just have AI do that. And it's like,
yeah, I don't really understand this.
But A, it's probably not going to be as good. Great. And B, I mean, B is like the thing, like, oh yeah, it's kind of a shame that people that do this for a living maybe now can't. I will say you can't just stop all progress because people might lose their jobs, right? But it still sucks. And also it sucks that it's specifically jobs that actually seem kind of fun, rather than, like, menial labor. Like, why have we not eliminated menial labor yet? Like, we should do a lot more with, like, robotics and a lot less with, like, generative AI. I know there are advanced in robotics as well.
But
like, Amazon already has warehouse robots.
Also requires a lot of AI as well.
Yes, right.
Actually functional.
Like, stocking warehouses is a great application for robotics and AI. And
I don't know about that being a use case for AI.
I mean, the AI would probably be more so in like trying to figure out how to most optimally stock things, I guess. Although I guess it's just like there's space, put it there. It's not really that complicated.
It's actually very complicated.
I guess machine vision maybe would be a use case for like just checking where stock is. But I guess if a robot put it in, then you don't need to use machine vision to determine if it's there, because
like for that you want to be as efficient as possible with like placing the most frequent stuff easily accessible.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is actually like a very, very complicated problem that is
so yeah, warehouse logistics. There we go.
Yeah. But I don't know if AI, like, it might do a better job than current algorithms, but I don't know.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, that's the other thing, right? Like, if algorithmic programs can do it well, why are you trying to use AI to do it less well? Like, that is... I get that...
Even equally as well, but, like, it's using so much more power
and
energy to...
But the thing is, sometimes people try to use AI for things that already have been solved, right? It's like, this is a solved problem, algorithmic programs can already solve this, and AI will always have some amount of error rate. Like, even if it is like 0.001%, if the algorithmic program gets it right every time, why would you not use it?
Yep. I mean, I'm currently actually writing a program that, like, nowadays people would think is using AI, but actually just based completely off of algorithms that have been pretty much established for a while. It's to just like a brief explanation. It's about like comparing images to each other and finding images that fit well together if you like arrange them next to one another.
Oh, so it's basically just compare colors. or is it also geometry?
Colors, visual complexity, contrasts, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, those are all things you can quantify, and therefore, I mean, I guess technically AI also uses only things that can be quantified, but it's not always as immediately obvious.
But nowadays, people would just like go to like, oh yeah, let's grab an AI model that does image processing and have at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, your algorithms works decently well. It's still a prototype, but yeah.
Yeah. Anything else we want to say about tech we should invent? I feel like we simultaneously talked about a lot of random bullshit, and simultaneously haven't really answered the question all that well, but we also did talk enough that it probably is a topic now.
It definitely is a topic we talked about for a while. I don't have anything more to say.
Then let's move on to our facts of the week.
Right. My fact of the week is that, people actually use Tinder in Antarctica.
Yes, I did.
Kind of wild. And in 2013, quite a while ago, 12 years, basically. The first match happened there between two researchers stationed at different stations, and they were only a 45-minute helicopter ride apart.
Yes.
How's that?
I too have seen that report. I mean, fair enough. Honestly, simultaneously one of the better uses of those kinds of apps, and that's also one of the worst ones, because like you're probably not gonna have a lot of chances to just like organically meet people. At the same time,
yeah,
you could have just set up a group or something, right? Like there's not that many people there. Like you could probably have just talked to every single person there. Like,
bro,
you didn't need the app. It's one of those cases where like, yes, you don't have a mechanism instead of the app, but
it's just so funny to me.
Yes, of course. I'm just assuming there were 3 people using it at the time, and the third person just felt really unlucky.
Oh.
Okay, speaking of tech that should be invented, artificial blood.
Yeah.
Scientists in Japan have developed artificial blood that is compatible with everyone because it doesn't have anti-genes, I think it would be. So it is universally compatible. And it has a stable shelf life of about 2 years. Whereas regular blood would have to be refrigerated and last about a month. And this article says that it was announced in July 2024 that human trials are supposed to begin by March 2025. It says here in an article posted in May 2025. So I don't know what that means. Like, have they already started the trials? And if so, then, like, did you just not know anything to report about them? Like, I don't know. Again, this article is a bit weird. But, yeah, I mean, they are apparently doing human trials. So it seems like this might actually work. I'm not entirely sure. One article on this says that it's using expired donor blood to extract some of the hemoglobin from that, and then use the membrane to cover it. And another one said that they're using lab-grown red blood cells. So I don't know exactly if this is like, I'm assuming, if I'm reading these together, maybe they used the hemoglobin from the cells to start their cell lines for the lab-grown ones. I don't know. Maybe they started with them.
Would be very interesting.
But most of the articles, like most of the stuff you read, makes it seem like it's entirely artificial. So I'm assuming that they can now also grow the red blood cells that they're using for this. And yeah, again, it's not just that means we're not as reliant on the fluctuations in blood donations, because like if no one's donating, you might just not have the right blood types available. But also, it's easier to store, which means ambulances can just like carry some extra blood around.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So, yeah, no, I mean,
That is
remains to be
amazing.
seen. I mean, again, human trials not finished yet, so like it's not approved yet. They're saying in one of the articles it said that the goal is to test safety and efficacy with hopes of practical use by 2030. So it's not like a right away kind of thing, but that's not that far off.
Yeah, no, it's just like 5 years. That's not a lot.
The other question then, of course, is the economical one, right? Like, how much is it going to cost to make this?
Yes, but I imagine the technology will improve over time, making it cheaper if it happens to be expensive at first.
Again, it doesn't say anything about cost in here, so I genuinely don't
know. Because there is like a lot of demand, I assume, for this kind of stuff.
I mean, yeah, there are blood shortages here and there. Like, disaster relief is a big use case they actually mention here as well, where whenever there's like a big disaster, like, you get more injured people, you might need more blood. And, I mean, usually there's also, like, when there is that kind of a disaster, there's also a blood drive started, and because it gets a lot of media attention, people do also donate there, so it's not as concerning oftentimes, but still, like, you have times when you just need more blood all of a sudden, and being able to just get it easily. And, again, long shelf life, so you can just stock more than you might need, because it's going to last you a while. So you can have an emergency stock. It's probably not going to go bad.
And even then, even if it does exceed, it's so much easier to transport if it doesn't need to be refrigerated.
That's the other thing I was going to say, right? Like, oh, there's an emergency. Well, let's have all the surrounding areas put like half their blood reserves in a truck or something and just ship them over. And then they can like make a new one later, right? Like, it's fine. It's super easy to transport.
Yeah, dude, this is great.
I mean, you could theoretically see a future where like households just have like a pint of blood just lying around just in case. I mean,
yeah,
if you can inject it easily enough, then like if you have major blood loss, like it might genuinely be like a first aid thing where it's like, oh yeah, this person is losing a lot of blood. Let's just put a blood transfusion in them because we might as well.
I mean,
okay, maybe that's a bit extreme, but
that is the big extreme. Like, you know, a thing that already exists and is like relatively common, but
defibrillators.
No, fire extinguishers.
Oh, they exist in every home, right? Like, you do have a fire extinguisher, don't you?
I doubt it.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Sergej! Basic fire safety. We have a fire extinguisher. Like, I don't know what your point is.
Okay, I mean, you probably definitely should have one because you have like an oven, a fireplace thingy.
Oh yeah.
In your home.
I thought it meant for like making food. I was like, that's pretty normal.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have one before then, though. Like, I'm pretty sure we've had one for a while. Although, I don't know how old it is actually. No, I think
they do expire.
I think technically, my dad's company, like, has like for like legal reasons has to have like a certain amount of fire extinguishers and has to replace them with certain intervals. Yeah. And I think we just have the most recently like thrown out ones at home. I think that's how that works.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're even expired technically because I think they might have to get new ones relatively often, not just when they expire. I'm not entirely sure how that works.
They probably do. They probably do.
That might. I'm not sure if we would have fire extinguishers if we didn't already have easy access to them. But I'm assuming we would.
Like, except for your place, I don't think I've seen a home that had fire extinguishers.
Okay, I mean, to be fair, also, like, if the place burns down, you can just, like, get out. You know? Like, you can just get out and let the place burn down. It's not great. I'm not suggesting it. I'm just saying, like...
Sure, but for the relative ease of access to fire extinguishers...
Yes.
And their long shelf life and capability to prevent a lot of personal and property damage, you rarely see them around.
I'm just
saying...
So
I assume it's going to be a similar story for blood.
There are people in America that carry Narcan around, right? Like, it's very possible that, like, there might be some people that just have blood on them. That came out wrong. But, you know, like, there might just be people that just carry some blood around, just in case, you know? And that could save their lives, maybe. I don't know.
Sure.
I'm trying to do the thing that sci-fi always forgets, where we consider the societal implications of new technologies, rather than just saying like, oh, this technology exists. And then you have Back to the Future, where in the far-flung future of 2015, they have
Oh, Jesus Christ.
they have public phone booths with video calling. It's like, I can see why you would think that, right? Because when it was written, phone booths were actually like a thing, and video calling is a cool future technology. And like, yeah, no, you predicted that one, right? But like, phone booths with video calling? That seems so weird and anachronistic. I don't know.
It does. All right. Want to move on?
How about our weekly Squirtle? I used to know what the words were. Tonic and laser. Laser's the important one. Well, that's more hints than last time, I think. Or was it the time before that where we got like just like laser right away or something?
Oh yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Yeah. O-N-I in the second column.
Oni.
Oni, yes, that is like a Japanese mythological creature. I get it.
Yeah. Surprising amount of O's.
By which you mean at least 2?
Yes. I mean, I think that's more than average.
I couldn't tell you what the average amount of O's is. No L's, no C's. Actually, the L was very well positioned for that. Because we guess it in a spot where we only get one hint. And getting a hint, it's not at all on the grid. It's just as useful there than anywhere else.
Not as lucky with the L.
That is... No, yes,
Wait,
we were lucky with the C.
No, with the C, right, yeah.
Yeah, it would have had to be the O, yeah, if we wanted to. Wait, so I is limited to 3 spots, N is limited to 3 spots, the O is limited to 4. I don't think we can build anything out of just that information.
Unlikely.
Although it is interesting to note that means that the second spot can't be an O or an I. I do like to often start with consonant vowel, but I guess it doesn't have to anyways, and then can't be A either. Okay, it starts a little interesting. Like this spot, if it is a vowel, which it by no means has to be, would have to be E or U. I mean, it could start with 2 consonants, it could start with a vowel and then a consonant. Like, it doesn't have to be a vowel. I feel like, like we said, like tonic, right? Like laser. It's just like consonant, vowel, consonant, right? This pattern. It doesn't really fit in there that well. Speaking of, we probably want to guess for U. We probably want to get like an M in there or something, or a D or whatever you like to do. And then just go from there. We want to test for N. We probably want to test for N.
Probably N. Or definitely N. We want to test for U. And then like a couple consonants, D, F, G, P, whatever. M as well. Something like that.
Begun. I mean, we haven't really tried any E's in second, so that would be information.
Yeah.
And everything else is new, besides the N, which...
Yeah, no, I like that. Let's do that.
Got an E. No B's. I guess that is good to know.
U's somewhere in the grid.
The G's a little awkward, because G's somewhere in the grid.
Yeah.
Like, G somewhere in the grid, just not in the center. It's like, okay. Not in the center of column or row, but there's still like 16 spots where it can be.
What is up with the second column?
Well...
Christ.
Um. Okay. So the E still has 3 spots that it could go in. The N also still has 3. Okay, this is not super helpful. In O in Inog. I don't know. That's not quite a word. Inode.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I know, right? Like those are like kind of like I know. I don't know.
I mean that's a thing on Linux.
Inode is a thing.
Yeah.
But it's like I in the node, right? It's not one word.
It is one word.
I mean, like,
but like I don't know if it's like an abbreviation of something.
It sounds like it would be like an interface node or like an Apple node or something like that. You know, like introducing now the I node. I mean, I don't know if it's a word, right? But like, it would fit. Not that well, actually. Fuck, because the N can't go in second. I should have thought about that.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say iodine, but that also doesn't work on multiple levels because A, I think it's 6 letters, and B, the O can't go there. Wait, so own. Biome. Wait, no, that's an M, not an N. Wait, so does ion work as like a bione, yone, pione, myone, chione, gione, hyone, vione, dione? I don't think so.
No. Also, the I cannot go in the second spot.
Okay, so it goes the first then, right? And then 1. So it's idone, iPone, imone, iPhone with an F. I don't know. Irone. Like, you know, I roamed it. Like he inserted irony.
Right.
Like in tone, but for irony.
You know what? The more you say it, the more it sounds like an actual word. I don't like it.
I'm sorry about that. I mean, it could just be the other way around, right? It could just well be like opine, which actually is a word. It could be opine, actually, which is a word. God damn it!
It could be, yeah.
I actually don't hate that.
Huh.
I don't think there's anything technically wrong with this. How many words do you know that end in U? There was not entirely a rhetorical question, but
yeah.
So E could technically be anywhere, but I mean, obviously you kind of want it to be there. I mean, I'm putting way too many things in that I have absolutely no justification for. Like, way too many. I was gonna put the S there, but I think that I have absolutely no justification for that whatsoever. Like, I can explain everything else that I've done, but As a matter of fact, I feel like I want to put the R there. Like pear. Or appear. Or spear.
Oh, no,
Not spear.
No S.
But that's the right spirit, though. Like, that's a video. Right? O-peer. U-peer. E-peer. Okay, no, that's not it.
We gotta have an O in the row.
Opera. That's what I said.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that doesn't really work with what I said about the R, because, like, the R doesn't actually want to be there. I mean, it's not
so, how many times now did we have opera in the grid?
Like, I think
it seems like a word that, like, appears a bunch.
I'm not sure if it ever was in the actual solution.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we tried it a bunch, but I'm not sure if it actually has ever been right. But yeah, opera seems good.
Yeah.
I don't actually hate that. So what is it? The E in the first... Oh boy. How likely do we think it is there are two words that start with E? Oh, actually, no, it's not allowed. Can't go there. Double E exists, but it's kind of rare. I'm going to put it there. And I want to put this E.
I just thought of, like, EA, and I immediately thought of eager, but exactly in that spot G cannot go.
Yep. You thought of the one word that it could be.
Yeah.
Eagle. Oh wait, same problem. Right.
Right? It's weird how EA, like, seems to be followed by G, right?
But I mean R, right? Like earn.
I guess.
Ear.
Early.
Early, yeah. See,
no else. Fuck.
For a second there, I thought that was genuinely going to be a possibility. I'm just saying the R could well be there. I mean, it doesn't... It could also be anywhere else, is the problem. Although, I think R and G are the most common letters to follow EA. E.
Just thought of S, but S cannot go there either.
Oh, like as an ease. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does seem like every time we come with a letter besides R, it doesn't work. Okay. Earns.
Eater. No, ours. It's not spot. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what is
Eaton.
it?
No ends either. Oh god.
I mean, the T is a good idea though. Wait. Then this isn't E though, right? If that is a T. Okay. Maybe. If this is a T, or even an R for that matter, it feels like this would want to be an E. Plus, we do need one in the row, right? So it would either start with EI or end in E. So like it is probably an E. I mean, in that because R feels plausible, right? It's like minor or something like that.
Yeah.
Liner.
No else.
Piner?
More pine.
Pined.
Piner. Could be a thing.
What did you say?
Piner.
Finer, something fines.
Yeah, yeah. Or diner.
Well, diner is a word.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that because.
Also finer as in like more fine.
Oh yeah,
than...
that makes a lot more sense than what I said.
Yeah.
I mean, I said earns. That works.
No ends in the whole column.
In the whole column, that's annoying.
Yep.
How about breed? How about we try breed?
Oh
no bees. No bees.
bees.
Okay, that is greed. How about greed? How about we try greed? We need a G.
Yeah, I like that. That is good. That is good.
It's green. No, it can't be green. It's what?
Grief? Wait,
Not
no,
like
that's spelled differently. That's spelled
not like
differently.
that.
Greet.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I'll allow it.
Oh, it could be Greek. Oh no.
It could be Greek. I will say Greek is more likely because I don't know if we had endonyms. That's not right. What are they called? Exonyms? No, that's actually would be an exonym because
probably. Yeah.
Well, it's an exonym if it's applied from the outside, but they call themselves Hellenic, so it actually is an exonym in this case. Anyways, the point is, we know now that we need AD, just not back here, so diner becomes more likely. Greek is possible, and we should keep it in the back of our skulls. I just don't think it's as likely to be a K here for because there's another word in sex with it. Also, again, I don't know if we actually have like national or linguistic terms like that. I don't know if we have Greek and whatever else, Welsh. Yeah, that's 5. I don't know if we have those, right? Okay, how do we actually the first row? How does that work? With the O and the G. Do we think U? No, it can't be U. I think an A? That seems unlikely. No, it can't be A. R? Can't be R. Double G? Can't be G. Okay, I'm starting to annoy myself with suggesting a bunch of things that don't work.
I was briefly thinking of a gorge, but no R's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? No R's, no G's, and basically no vowels. I mean, I guess it could be E, but what can this be? Preferably that works with this, right? Because, as we said, no R's, no second G, no A or U, no L, which sounds plausible, even if I can't come up with an example for that would work. Actually, I can't come up with an example for most of those, but...
Lodge? I don't know.
A D? You suggested a D?
Yeah.
And then podge, you said.
Yeah.
Like, in hodgepodge.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an actual dictionary word. That's the question.
No idea. Podu.
counterpoint, it could be dodge, which is definitely a dictionary word. And then maybe this doesn't actually have to be a D. And then maybe this could be a T again. Just sort of an idea, you know? Donut seems like a nice word.
Niner.
I mean, sure, right? You know, the 49ers, you know? Like the people that came over to San Francisco for the gold rush.
Yeah.
Niners for short. At least that's what people call San Francisco 49ers. Niners for short sometimes, the football team. So, you know.
Yeah, I know.
It could work. Okay, do we have any other letters that we... Oh, an S. We need an S.
Yeah.
It could still be both. This has its R. This has its E. Are there any letters that we still need besides that one S? You're better at this usually than I am. God damn it.
I am honestly not sure. I don't think so. Earth! Hell yeah. Unset. Dense. Yeah.
Oh, dense, yeah. No. I was looking at teeth. Which is good, because that means that we're right.
Hopefully.
And now, maybe. And now we do rows. Because we could... Wait, no, we do columns? Wait, how does this work again?
I don't think... Actually, wait. Actually, no, we do first a row and then columns.
I think it's 5 either way.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's 5 either way. No matter how we slice it.
Oh, wait, no. Columns is only 4.
Because the T is in both
We set the
words.
T in the same spot, yeah.
There you go! Now you're thinking with portals! Hell yeah!
Yep.
And now we want donuts. Of course we do. I always want donuts. Opine. I love that I fairly early on came up with opine. That's a nice word. And then dense, which we were not as proven by doing this.
Hell yeah. 8 guesses remaining.
That's about as good as we most of the time are, I think. I think it's a pretty normal amount for us. Actually, it might be on the
I think
better
most
side.
of the time we have like 7.
Okay, yeah, so we did good. Our words were dodge, opera, niner, unset, teeth, donut, opine, dense, greet, and earth. I had a couple of moments there towards the end.
Yeah, dude, Earth was good.
Yeah, I think it was sort of a combination of things. I think I was trying to make the S work still, and I think I thought of unset. I was like, maybe. Then I was like EART, and I was like Earth. I think that's how my mind got there. But yeah, no, this was good.
That was pretty good. Hell yeah.
Which brings us to something else that's good. Good questions to ask.
Oh.
What is the most awkward thing that happens to you on a regular basis? What a weird question.
On a regular basis.
I feel like it would stop being awkward after a while if it happened to you on a regular basis.
Right.
It just becomes normal, right? Like, I don't know. That is a weird question to me.
Huh. I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing.
if you had to disappear and start a whole new life, what would you want your new life to look like? I feel like it depends entirely on why you're disappearing.
Right. Like usually when like you did that for like witness protection stuff, they ask you exactly that and then do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Of what you answered.
Like you're not gonna buy coffee from a favorite coffee place anymore. You're not gonna do any of the hobbies that you did. You are gonna do a job that's completely different from your old one. Right? You just change everything about your life as much as possible.
Yep.
Or I guess in my case, I'm just giving you a haircut.
You're moving up north.
Oh gosh. Okay, so we're moving to Hamburg. What are we doing?
Oh no!
You said I'm north.
Oh no! I mean, at least it's not Berlin, right? At least it's not Berlin.
Yeah. I actually like fish, so I might not do that poorly in Hamburg.
Yeah.
I already say morning at weird times of the day, so I think I'm actually good. I think it could be hamburger.
Yep.
No, but
okay, so
I think it's generally the thing where like
what kind of job would we be doing? Like if it's not IT,
it can't have anything to do with computers.
What's the opposite of IT?
Woodworking.
That's like the most common thing IT people want to do.
That's what I was thinking.
It's not gonna.
No, okay. Like I said, woodworking, but what I meant was lumberjacking.
Oh, okay. No. That is
probably not up there. I mean, if we are sticking with Hamburg, I don't know, like fishing, like commercial fishing.
Yeah.
I was like, not that I would want to do it, but it's very different and it is up there.
That is true. I don't think anybody would recognize me if I was like out on like a fishing boat.
Yeah. Although I guess the counterpoint is that my undercover identity would probably involve me getting a haircut and shaving, which is like the opposite of what people on fishing boats do, by my understanding. Well, okay, it's probably more like a deep sea fishing thing. If it's like a day trip, you probably aren't gonna necessarily look like you haven't shaved in months, which I haven't.
Yeah.
Like that's just what I look like. Okay. So what would you want to do if you had to be outside of IT?
Probably woodworking, actually. Like, I do want to get into that.
I think you had said that before, which is why my mind immediately went there.
Yeah. Like, I thought about metalworking as well, just like, building things out of metal. But I don't think that's really mine. Not that interested in it, but like woodworking, that sounds so nice.
Okay. I think it could be like an editor, like literature editor, you know?
Ooh. That could be interesting.
Okay, to be fair, I have absolutely no relevant skills there, right? It's not because it's. I mean, I guess I could do copy editing, right? Like freaking like spelling and whatnot. But like real like editing, like actually like giving input on the story. I'm assuming that's like something that you learn by like writing a bit yourself or something like that, which I haven't really done to any reasonable degree. But also, I feel like I could still do it, like at least at an entry level thing, like maybe like an assistant editor at first, and then you like work your way up to becoming like an editor.
I think one thing I could do is translate.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking of, like just literature, like something, like because I know I can't just write a novel, you know, like I mean, first of all, if you're witness protection, they're not gonna let you do that because like, what if it gets popular? Right? I mean, no, but like you wouldn't want to do something where you and second of all, again, right? I don't think that I like as much as I would like to do that. I don't think I can. I don't think I have like the talent to like actually like. I mean, it's something you can train. I'm sure I could like work on it, but like you can't just like start a career as an author and be like, okay, yeah, but I need like a couple years to work on that first. So it's like, okay, yeah, sure, someone will pay you for like not publishing books. Like what? So yeah, like editing, translating.
That's something you do on the side until you can like sustain yourself,
right? But like editing, translating, those are like actual jobs. The average annual income of a German literary translator is $35,000 a year, which isn't a ton.
Yeah. Would be a downgrade.
So yeah. Also, it's generally not a job you get employed for, so that it would be more like an independent contractor. You just have to like actually line up your own contracts. There are some like agencies and whatnot that like where people get together to do it, but this is not a job that you just like a publisher employs you for that. Generally speaking.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to do for quite a while is get into either photography or videography.
Yeah, fair.
Even if it's actually like sort of adjacent to videography, like gaffer type of jobs, lighter type of jobs, that sounds kind of interesting to me as well.
It is interesting because that is another job where you would be like an independent contractor, right? You'd have to like find productions that need people. I think it's how that generally works. I actually don't know how that works exactly, because surely you don't hire every single person who works on a movie as an independent contractor, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure most of these positions are independent positions. I don't know exactly how that works.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we'll probably answer that one sufficiently. Unless you have something else.
Not really.
Movie or book do you know the most quotes from?
Ooh.
So I had this up, of course, for a couple of seconds. I was already thinking about this. And I think, weird enough, the answer probably... Ooh, maybe not. But the answer probably sounds like one of the Star Wars movies or Terminator or something like that. Like something that's like very... in the popular culture, right? Like Terminator was the first thing that came to mind from you. Because like I was thinking about it, and I was like, what are things that I like? And then it's like, can I quote any of those at all? It's like, no, for most of them. And so I was thinking, right? And it's like, Terminator, I'll be back. Come with me if you want to live. Right? Like, there's just like some very like famous quotes there.
Yeah. Gotta be something like that. I don't actually know.
I mean, I've seen the movie like once, right? So it's not like I have a particular personal attachment there, but it's very like, it has some famous lines. And that's much more useful than...
Yes, probably Star Wars. Like Star Wars has like a lot of recognizable lines.
Yeah, I was just trying to think if there's like any one Star Wars movie that I could quote at least 2 lines from, because that's the benchmark though that I've set there for like Terminator. Which also, by the way, I'm pretty sure you could name any Terminator movie and he said both of those lines because it's just how iconic they are. I mean, it's a sad thing, right? Like with Star Wars, and then the "No, I am your father," right? Like those are the 2 lines I could think of. Oh no, wait. There's also Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope, or something like that. It's a trap, right? Yeah, no. I mean, I
have the high ground, Anakin. It's over.
Yeah. I hate sand. Its course is rough and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. It's Star Wars.
Probably. Again, something that I don't have like that much of an attachment to, right? Like I don't even like Star Wars that much. But like probably that. Yeah, probably. I don't know. It's weird because I think like knowing quotes and liking the thing, they do not correlate that well, which makes it very hard to like think of it. I mean, some people that are like super hardcore fans of something will be able to quote all kinds of things. But I'm just not that kind of a person, generally speaking.
Yeah.
What was one of the most interesting concerts you've been to?
I think I've only been to one concert.
Like a proper concert?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like
that'll be it then.
Yeah. Like the one at your parents' windmill? Watermill, sorry.
Oh, like the festival that they have up there. Like,
yeah, I think so.
It's not at the mill technically, but yeah. Well, I mean, it's that and the one the ones that they used to have on like the town square in summer, right? Like those same thing. It's like smaller cover bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been to one actual proper concert, but one actual proper artist, and that by default is then the most interesting one. Because like yes, I have like seen some smaller cover bands. I've seen Kim Wilde live.
I have no idea who that is, but that is surely amazing.
And the best part is that too was free. But they were given they were giving tickets away for that over the radio. God, this has gotten dusty.
Okay.
Yes, I still have that. This is a printed out ticket. It does have like the QR code and like personal information on there, so I had to check which part of this I can like easily show. So yes, this is the most interesting concert I've been to by virtue of it being the only concert of an artist that you've ever heard of. Well, not you, Sergey, but like people in general.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more just because this is either very spicy or kind of a letdown. Where are you not welcome anymore? and Sergey, what is percentage odds that the answer is Russia? No, I think you go there sometimes, right? Would have been a cool answer, though. I will say, like, I'm sure
it will be. Funny.
I get you have family there.
So
you want to go back, but it would have been a great answer. I think for me the answer is kind of boring because I don't think there has ever been a place that we're banned from. Like not welcome. Like I don't know. Like maybe there are some people that don't like me very much, but I can't even think of that.
I honestly have no idea. I don't think I'm not welcome anywhere. I sure hope not.
It just would have been funny if your answer was Russia, and that's probably the only good thing that could have come out of this question. But like, yeah, no. Like, hung out with too many people that were critical of the Russian government, i.e. me. Okay.
I mean, we'll see how it's gonna go when I like try to enter it.
Oh god, no, that's bad, because the thing is, if they don't like you, they probably will let you in. They just won't let you out again. Okay, I guess that brings us to our final segment. We're ending it on a high note. We're doing our songs of the week. What is your song of the week?
My song of the week is Don't Worry by Madcon.
Gosh, it's probably 10 years old by now, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because
February 2015.
Yeah, because I remember when this used to get airplay. So that is, at this point, like, yeah, it's okay. Like,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure when it was still, like, running on the radio every day, I didn't like it that much. But, like, by now, I was like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. Like, it's not, like, I don't love it. I'm not going to add it to my playlist or anything, but, like, it's fine.
Yeah. Heard it earlier today on the radio. Thought, hey, kind of sounds alright.
I was thinking about that recently, right? I don't know, maybe they were always doing that and I was just less aware of it, but they're playing a lot of songs from, like, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of weird because it feels like these are too recent to be oldies, obviously, but they're, like, too old to be new. So, like, I don't know, like, it feels weird that they're playing these songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's nothing inherently wrong with it. It just kind of feels like it used to always be like 80s, 90s, and the newest songs, right? That's sort of like how they... I think there was like one station that literally had that as a tagline for a while there.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is none of those things. I mean, better than most of the stuff that's coming out now, still, which is like low bar, but like... Okay, maybe it's also like very subjective. Anything else you want to say about this?
Not really.
My song of the week is Sláinte by Fiddler's Green.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's fun.
it's a good Fiddler Screen song. I really don't have much more to say about this. I need a song of the week, okay?
Yeah.
That's just how these go sometimes. I clicked through my music player. Then Fiddler Screen was one of the first things that came up. I was like, yeah, Fiddler Screen, and the song that came up was one that I had used already, song of the week. So I was like, they have more good songs, and then I picked this one, and that's that story. And that's the riveting tale of how I got my song of the week. Which brings this episode of the Trash Talk Podcast to a close. If you want to see more, select the subscribe channel if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you have something to say, leave a comment below. Sergej.
That's it.
That's it.